I move this part a little bit, down, because I want them connected on bust. This is my base point, and I move it up, and you see it is magnetic. I turn on a snap endpoint, and now I can connect exactly this part on this point. And now I can do something with the dart. Suppose I want to rotate the dart into the armhole. On paper, you draw a line. Here you do exactly the same. I click on the line icon. This is my first point on the dart. And I'm going to draw the line to the armhole, to this point. Now I'm going to select the cut icon. That is the scissors. I select the object I'm going to cut. I say I'm done selecting, right mouse. And with which object do I want to cut? That is this cut line. No, this is the wrong one. Okay, this is the good one. You see that it is highlighted. I say I'm done selecting, and I click on the right mouse. And now it is cut. I can delete the cut line. And you see I have deleted the cut line, and there is still a line because this object is divided into two parts. Now I can rotate this part from this point to that point. So I rotate the dart, and the dart rotates to the armhole. I choose now the rotate command. I select this object. I'm done selecting, right mouse, click on done selecting. Rotate about what point? I rotate about the dart point. I will zoom in a little bit. This is very important, and with rotating you always have to turn on a snap point because you want to rotate exactly around that point. This is my rotation point. On what point do I start? I start here, and now I move the mouse to that point, and you see it is magnetic. It jumps to that point. And you see the dart is now over here. When you're drawing by hand, you would paste now the two patterns to each other. Here in PatternMaker, you do exactly the same. You are joining these parts. So I select the join command. I select this part, done selecting, and I select this part, done selecting, and you see the two lines have disappeared and it has become one part. And you have rotated the dart from the shoulder line into the armhole. I click on end and I see everything on screen. You can draw a seam allowance around the pocket. I go to draw and I select offset. And with offset you make a seam allowance everywhere the same. I select the pocket, I'm done selecting, and you get the offset box where you can fill in how much offset do you want. I want, for instance, 1 centimeter, and I fill in 1, okay. And now you see an offset around the pocket. You see at the corners many vertices, many points, because you want everywhere exactly 1 centimeter. So PatternMaker has to calculate at many places that it exactly is 1 centimeter. You can also make a seam allowance around 1 centimeter, but at the top 3 centimeters, because you want the facing there. Then you select not offset, but seam allowance. Okay, my first point is here. I say right mouse. This is my first point selected. Okay, this is my end of the segment. Okay, done selecting. Okay, is this the right segment? No, I meant the other way. Okay, this is the right segment, yes. How much do I want? I want 1 centimeter, and after that I want to close the object. Okay, now he is asking for the offset distance of the last segment. I want there 3 centimeters. Okay, and you see here 1 centimeters, and for the facing at the top you have 3 centimeters. You can do everything what you do by hand. You can, for instance, copy. Suppose you want another color because you have a top for the top and you have a bottom color. So I want to copy the color. And here I have the second color. Suppose I want to have 2 back parts. I move the color. Okay. And suppose I want to have a double back part. Then I can mirror it. Okay. And because of here, you have a dart here, you have a steep back line, there is a hole. But suppose you want to use it for the front, you can get a double front part. You can delete parts. Suppose you don't want the facing here, you can delete it. Suppose you want to scale it. Suppose you want a bigger pocket, for instance. I select it. I'm done selecting. And now I can scale it by moving the mouse cursor, but I also can do it by typing in a scale factor. And suppose I want it 20% bigger, I type in 1.2. And it's a little bit bigger, you see, because it does not fit in a seam allowance anymore. So you can do everything to make real patterns with text, with grain lines, with everything. This was my short demonstration of what you can do with PatternMaker.